Take a look at some of our Alaska news for this November 30th. It is a Wednesday morning. The Coast Guard has rescued a man from a sailboat that grounded north of Kodiak. When they got the call, sent out a Hercules and a helicopter. They found the man safe on shore, took him back in. Apparently no injuries, but his sailboat is aground on an island. 3 people reported dead. That number is now up to 4 after an outbreak of a new strain of strep bacteria in the state of Alaska. The latest outbreak coming in Anchorage after the first outbreak in Fairbanks earlier this year. They say that this new strain, it's the first time it's been identified, it's especially virulent, and most of the people that have been affected have been the homeless. Alaska biologists are researching the mystery of a declining caribou herd. They have ruled out at this point both hunting and predation as the main reasons for the decline. For Alaska towns that are in the path of rising seawater that has eroded their communities, they're trying to make that tough choice of whether to relocate their villages or to just tough it out, saying it can't go on forever. You can read about that today at ADN.com. Also, the Alaska LNG project, that idea of forming a gas line to export Alaska natural gas, the enthusiasm for that has waned to the point now the legislature is openly talking about shelving the project, and the governor himself, who normally refers to himself as an eternal optimist, he's now using the word if when they're talking about AKLNG. Since April, Port Hayden has been the center of an earthquake storm, actually a swarm of hundreds of earthquakes. This is something that happens from time to time, but the fact that it just keeps going on and on and on, they don't know if it's going to wind down at some point or kick back up again, but a lot of eyes are on the Port Hayden's earthquake swarm. Also, a $10,000 reward has been offered to find that teenager who's now been missing since earlier this month down in Palmer. Remember, they found his burned out Ford Bronco. They're asking anyone who may have any information about the teenager or having seen his car in the hours after he dropped off his girlfriend, please come forward with some information about that. The trial for the Anchorage couple that's been charged with starting a fire that ended up burning out a whole bunch of mushers' homes in Wasilla, the Sockeye fire, that trial has now been delayed. They were hoping to push it back until January. Of course, that's going to interfere with a lot of the mushers and their sport if they have to wait until January for the trial. So now the judge has a December date set for opening arguments. There was a fire in Anchorage. A trailer fire claimed the trailer, but not any lives. The sole occupant, a woman and her dog, got out safely. And the Alaska Permanent Fund has grown. Looks like the value is up significantly. There's been a notice sent out from Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson that the training that they're going to be having there, a bunch of artillery shells going out, will be able to be heard as far away as Wasilla. That's quite a distance. Also, the man who was arrested after that fatal South Anchorage shooting last week, he's now been indicted for murder. And following a national trend, Alaskans are apparently cutting the cord and dropping cable, saying that they have other sources for their news and entertainment, especially online. The Juneau Empire has a story noting that yes, most state employees can use marijuana, just not on the job. Whatever, basically whatever happens in your home, just like with alcohol, as long as you're not high at work, just like as long as you're not drunk at work, it's not going to be a problem. The Anchorage Trail Watch program has got a whole bunch of new members coming on. Basically, all this is people going out there to keep an eye on the trails and reporting suspicious activities, including homeless camps. There's also a website in Anchorage to report illegal homeless camps. They have shut down over 1,000 this year so far. The evictions and the cleanup continues to go up. The University of Alaska Anchorage Police Chief talked to KTUU-TV about campus threats in light of the most recent attack at a campus, I believe, in Ohio State. And the street near the Juneau Governor's Mansion is going to be closed off for the holiday open house happening next week. In the Fairbanks areas, they're talking about some passing lane improvements along the Richardson Highway between Eielson and Delta Junction. They're saying that most of the wrecks that happen down there, about 24% of the wrecks that are caused by passing. They're saying that of all that, they're trying to get that number to go down by giving more passing opportunities to do so safely. Also, The University of Alaska Southeast has an endowment now named for former Attorney General Scheibel. The Aurora Harbor in Juneau planning phase 2 of their boat sheltering. That'll begin after the Salmon Derby next year. New tech in Norvik is promising faster internet for the folks that live there. And a new Alaska-themed sticker app has earned a high rank on an app store. I believe it's the Apple App Store. You can put Alaska-themed stickers, whether it's moose or mushers or whatever. You check that out if you'd like to. And lastly, Denali Brewing Company, now the first company in the entire state of Alaska that has all 3 licenses, beer, wine, and liquor. That is our Alaska News. If you like what I'm doing, check it out online at radiofreespeech.com. Consider becoming a supporter, and let me know what topics you want me to talk about. Make sure you check out today's commentary. It's about an international incident that was the topic of a bad joke. So we'll talk about that, and let me know once again what you like. Steve at radiofreespeech.com. Send me an email, steve at radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.